Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. Again, my name is Brandi Trotter. I'm with Workforce Solutions for North Central Texas, where I serve as the Industry Workforce Development Specialist and Apprenticeship Navigator. And we want to thank you for joining us for the Recruiting, Training, and Retaining Employees in Today's Economy panel. And so I'd like to introduce my panelists that will be providing their insight on this topic. To my immediate left, I have Ms. Cindy Svoboda with Integrated Machinery Solutions, Dr. Kady Donaghey, Assistant Superintendent of Student Services with Weatherford ISD, and Dr. Shannon Ydoyaga, Executive Vice President of Academic Services for Weatherford College. And so before we start, to frame the conversation a little bit, the market for talent is an ongoing challenge, as many of you know, for all business sizes, but particularly small businesses. There's generally a lack of qualified candidates that are identified, or you have workers that are leaving their jobs for various reasons. And so we noticed in workforce, in working with employers, once the shock of the pandemic wore off and everybody was out of the panic mode of just getting people to them, they were more willing to look at what is causing employees to leave, how can we better attract and retain workers through training, incentives, whatever that looks like. And so we partner closely with all of these entities to make sure that we are providing access to training to help employers attract and retain good workers, as well as develop unique ways to create talent pipelines. And so with each of these partners, they'll be sharing some insight on this topic. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is for you, Cindy. Can you share some insight about some of the recruiting trends that IMS is seeing and what ways may have led to how you attract candidates?
Sure. What we've noticed is we are having a difficult time finding more of your skilled employees that has very specific skill sets that we use at our manufacturing facility. One of the things...
Because a lot of explaining receipt.
Hold these closer to you. Okay. I'm always afraid to touch technology because it might break. Okay, is that a little bit better?
Can y'all hear me okay now?
Some brilliant.
There's a little feedback somewhere.
Okay, is that better? Can you hear me now? I'll take no responses and yes.
Are y'all good?
Is this...
No. Larry's right here. Larry.
I don't know where I call it. This is on here.
Well, I bet kid you're right. Oh, we're good, but it is their calling.
Okay. I'll scoot it closer. I don't know if that's good or bad. So, but that's the issue that we've had is finding the more skilled employee, and pay rates have had a lot to do with it. We've had a pay rate multiple times. We've had to restructure our recruiting and our approach to gaining the talent that we need, which means hiring people that don't have all the skills and then training them and providing them with the skills. We have an apprenticeship program that is extremely helpful to grow the talent that we need. We have it for CNC machinists. We have it for CNC machinists, for welders and electricians. Weatherford College has been a very big help with that, and providing classes on site at our facility, blueprint reading classes, CNC classes for our apprenticeship program. But we have found that really what we're having to do is grow our own skilled employee workforce. And that ends up helping us a lot with retention. We have some of our top employees are employees that came straight out of high school from Hollenstein and have been with us for 10 years, and they're our top machinists and they're training others. But the trends that I'm seeing now is people unwilling to update their resumes, submitting them not updated at all, and I don't mean by 6 months, I mean 4 or 5 years. And you're having to really assist them through the application process just to get them to the interview. I can't speak to the applicant tracking systems with artificial intelligence. That's not something that we utilize. We're a smaller company. We have 147 employees. And I hope that answered some of the questions.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll just pass the mic here. So the next question will be for Dr. or Shannon, so that I don't butcher that. So the DFW metro area has added more than 152,000 residents between July of 2022 and 23, which equates to approximately 418 people per day. Parker County is estimated to grow by more than 181,000 residents, or 4.9%. So what role do you think community colleges have in serving a growing population and working with other education institutions, specifically high schools and universities?
Great, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our beautiful college. I'm so proud to be a part of Weatherford, and I can talk about this for the entire hour. We're very blessed to be in community colleges. So when Cindy was talking about upskilling individuals, and she was discussing our CNC workers, our colleagues that are here today with Workforce Solutions, many of you may not realize we have skills development funds. So if you come to us and you say, I can't find these workers with this specific skill set, we partner with Workforce Solutions. They give us funding for training for your employees. And Phaedra, so last I heard, I believe the state had like 24 million for skills development. I don't know if that's gone up since then or what that number is.
I don't think they've found the latest where it's used as Dawkins money, but they do think it's a tip.
Yeah, thank you. So we love OPM, other people's money. And so if you are a tax-based entity, so if you're not for profit, you don't have access to those funds. But if you do, you just work with us. We develop fast-track training, and we get you the workforce that you need. And so we'll modify our certificates, our degrees to help fill that gap. So that's one part of it. The other part is, I don't know if you realized, but this semester our enrollment went up by 21%. Wrap your head around that. So that has been a lot of growth. It's amazing. That tells you that the population is moving this way. So what does that mean for us? It means industry's coming. So we spend a lot of time with our advisory committees saying, what are the knowledge, skills, and abilities that you need for the future? So we have built out many new programs. With our new golf course, now we're adding culinary arts, turf grass management in order to maintain the golf course. But that also works with our partner here with Weatherford ISD. So they have a culinary arts program. So I'm designing an associate degree so that students can come from the high school to the college, complete an associate's degree, and then those all align to our 4 bachelor's degrees that we have here at the college. And so students can complete a bachelor's at the cost of community college tuition. And on top of that, we have articulated to 22 universities across the area over the last 12 months. And so I'm looking at the pathway as a whole, from high school coming all the way through to college to universities. I want every individual to have a degree or a certificate. This also aligns to the state initiatives where we know that if individuals can get to 15 credit hours, that's 1 semester, in math, in writing, they're going to have the skills that you need to critically think in order to be trained for the jobs of the future. So understanding the trends of the workforce is critical for us making that change for the overall economy and building the workforce that you need of the future. And so all of that is aligned to growth. I'm blessed to be from the DFW area. I've watched Dallas, Fort Worth expand, and ladies and gentlemen, it's coming. You think traffic was bad this morning? It is on its way here. So we're looking at what the program needs are in order to give you the workforce of the future. So that's the role of community colleges. We are the most affordable and the best quality education that you can get for your dollar here in the state. And so please consider Weatherford. Do you have a question? Go ahead.
This, and I know y'all have programs available for these people to come into, but we like small businesses. They kind of grow their own. They kind of find their people they can like. They have a right for a thought, their island for a thought. Going to train them for skill. Are y'all going to make your online programs more robust so we can keep you working and they can do online as well? Before I said, I know a lot of these programs they have to go to your college to be a part of this. Whether they can wait before while they do this and they're at least they're single mom, that kind of stuff. So are there programs in the future available where we could enhance it online so they can utilize?
Absolutely. All of our bachelor's programs are online. That includes our bachelor's.
Programs like CNA, the medical system.
That's a great question. It depends. It's a lawyer answer. It depends. It depends on what the training is. For a medical assistant, for example, you do not want a student learning how to draw your blood online. Some of it's going to have to be hybrid. They're going to have to be in the labs and learn how to do it. So it just depends on what the curriculum is.
The doctor's office outside, then they can actually train them.
Yep.
Online, and then use these training facilities in the areas that are.
That's a great question. That is prior learning assessment. So we can take the knowledge and skills, or maybe they have a certification from industry. We can apply that to our credit classes and then move them down the pathway faster. And so there's a mechanism for that as well. We are enhancing online and evening classes for our working adults so that they can return. So I started here. It's been just at 1 year. And that's been one of the challenges that I've put forward to our deans. But we are enhancing online because it's just with the demand, individuals need access.
That's what I'm betting my biggest problem is finding people because I am a trade facility, but trying to find, they have to come to your facility to move that, or if I'm just.
Absolutely. It's part of our offerings. And with the growth and the strain on our facilities, we have no choice but to start to look at hybrid and online offerings. Yes, ma'am.
Are the educators like on the certificate program or and so forth, are they actually experienced in the field or they
Absolutely. So our requirement is 3 years of work experience in the field, in addition to having typically an associate's degree if it's on the certificate workforce side. If it's for transfer to a university, it's a master's plus 18 hours in the field or the discipline. But definitely on the workforce, you have to have experience in order to bring forth the knowledge that the students need. Yeah. Did you want to add to that?
Yeah, even at the high school level. So we're a district of innovation, and most of our districts around us are that have applied for that through TEA. So it allows employees or employers to come from industry. I would say about 75% of our CTE teachers come from industry and have the background and have worked in the industry to help better prepare our students whenever they leave the high school side, as well as to go into the community college side.
Thank you. And I actually have the next question for you, Kady. With employers being more open to diverse talent pipelines, this creates a lot more opportunity for high school students that are looking to enter the workforce post-graduation. I think that in workforce, we've really had to pay attention to making sure that there wasn't just the focus on those going to a 4-year, but also creating those opportunities for students that's not the path that they want to take, but they also want a sustainable career. So with that in mind, how does the ISD collaborate with local business and industry to align CTE curriculum with current workforce needs and expectations?
So at Weatherford High School, 95% of our students are enrolled in a career and technical education program. That program starts as early as the 8th grade. Students choose their endorsements in the 8th grade prior to 9th grade. An endorsement is going to be 4 courses related to a career and technical education program, such as engineering, health science, automotive, welding. We have over 25 pathways in Weatherford ISD. And so these students will enter into the 9th grade. They will take a principles level course. They're going to learn all about all the great things that we offer. And then they will take 3 more courses while they're in high school, learning the skills, learning the trades. We offer things like electrical, plumbing, welding, automotive. So we have great opportunities for kiddos to leave us with skills that they need. Some of the different things that we work with business partners to look around here. There's many of y'all that serve on our advisory committee. We meet twice a year. Our teachers work with different advisory members that are local business owners that come and they talk to us about what our teachers can do to better prepare students when they leave us. That's one of our big takeaways, is that whenever we bring people to the table, we want to make sure that they're giving input on how our students can be better prepared whenever they leave us. Some of the things that we do is we always try to start with the end in mind. We take students on local industry business field trips so they can actually see what's going on in the workforce, making sure that this is something they're very excited about. We have over 200 students every year intern at over 70 businesses local. So if you need an intern, come see me after this, because 100% we have interns in all areas. Those practicum courses allow them to job shadow, to work. Some of them are paid internships, some of them are unpaid. Working with that local business owner to help better prepare their skills and, kind of create that pipeline like you spoke about. Whenever they leave us, they can go right into the workforce, or for instance, like some of our cosmetology students might go, they can graduate with an associate's degree from Weatherford College for free, and leave and go cut hair while they're working on and make more money than working at Walmart or things in that capacity. And then while they're doing that, they can work on their bachelor's degree. So Weatherford, we have a great partnership as well with Weatherford College. Our P-Tech program allows for students to graduate from Weatherford College sometimes before they graduate from our high school, because their graduation is normally before ours, with a level 1 credential a level 2 credential, all the way up to an associate's degree. So working with them to prepare those students in a pipeline, we work very well with Weatherford College, and we're thankful they're our partner. Some other things is, working with our local industry. Whenever she talked about other grants and things. So the Jobs and Education grant, we received over $900,000 2 years ago from Texas Workforce Commission to make sure that our equipment and 3 of our programs are aligned to industry standards, so that way that we are working with them. We also had 10 of our teachers participate in Texas Workforce Commission Summer iWork Teacher Externship. So our teachers went to the industry this summer. They worked for a full week alongside different employers, and then they have to create a curriculum base to actually then turn around to their classes. So ensuring that we are aligning every day what industry is doing for our students whenever they leave us.
Thank you. And all of those points that you spoke about also mirror what Workforce Solutions is doing in terms of career exploration and pathway development. We definitely encourage those work-based programs, as you mentioned, internships, and then also apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeships, because this helps to understand industry needs in a more timely manner. It also gives them an idea of what is here in their backyard that they may not be aware of. They may see a huge building behind, say, a Chick-fil-A and not know what actually happens there. So being able to do those tours and get in and talk with those industry folks help them to better understand what opportunities they have. And it also helps to eliminate the brain drain that I think a lot of rural communities see. Obviously, with the growth, I don't know how much longer Weatherford will be considered rural, but basically creating those opportunities locally through these partnerships is important for keeping people working in your community. And so the next question in terms of work-based learning is for Cindy. With the registered apprenticeship program that you partner with Weatherford College, and then the pre-apprenticeship training that happens here, how has offering this training model impacted talent attraction and retention?
It has helped our company so much. We would not be where we are today without the apprenticeship programs that we have in place. It has made a huge difference. And the ones that have, and most of them, 80% have successfully completed the program and are still with us. They end up being our long-term employees that stay with us for multiple years. And when we partner with high schools, what we'll do is work the individual part-time. We'll do a custom schedule for them while they're in high school that works for them, that they can come and experience the different jobs that we have. They work as a helper. It gives them a chance to see what the environment is like in our shop. We design and manufacture custom heavy equipment, so it's a lot of skilled trade positions. And it gives us a chance to see if this person's going to be reliable and they're truly interested in the program. Once they graduate high school, they're immediately hired as full-time. They get full benefits. They're officially enrolled in the apprenticeship program. Each program has a different amount of time of how long it takes to complete. Our longest one is for the CNC machinist program. It's a 5-year program. It's 8,000 hours. You can do it in 4 years, but we try not to scare them away and give them 5 years. But it's 7,000 hands-on hours and 1,000 classroom hours, which of course Weatherford College has been incredible with. But without that program, we would not be where we are today. It has helped us with our welding. Now, I do see most kids want to do welding. They don't want to do machining. So we do a lot of tours with Azle High School and Hollenstein and show them exactly what machining is. We go out there and talk to the schools and tell them all about it and what machining is, trying to push them. We give them tours. I wore this T-shirt today because this was one we did for Azle High School, and it has their mascot on the back of it with a little welding mask and a welding gun. And so we gave each high school student one of these T-shirts that came in toward the facility, and the tour is lengthy. Rick is very knowledgeable and has lots to share. So it's about a 2-hour tour, but they have a clear understanding of what they can accomplish, should they choose to go our direction.
And so one of the ways that Workforce Solutions has been able to partner to contribute to this apprenticeship program is we were awarded an apprenticeship service award from the Texas Workforce Commission in 2023 and 2024. And so we've been able to cover some of the tuition and training costs for individuals that went through the pre-apprenticeship program here at Weatherford College. And so just a quick plug about registered apprenticeship. You may have heard me mention I'm the navigator for the North Central Texas area. Registered apprenticeship is not just for large employers. It really is an opportunity for you to develop a specific training program for an occupation to help move individuals through your organization. And one of the things that we have noticed is that career seekers are a lot pickier about where they're going to work because they're looking for an employer that's going to invest in them, which ultimately leads to those high retention rates. And so this directly impacts local economic development. So Shannon, with this in mind, how do community colleges serve the workforce and industry partners related to new programming, learning experiences, and reskilling and upskilling of incumbent workers? I know you talked a little bit about that, but if you want to go into some more detail, that'd be great.
Thank you. Let me give you just a hard example of what we're doing to solve a problem that we are all going to be facing. Over the next 10 years, we're going to lose about 50% of our teachers due to retirement in education. That's a little scary as we have young ones or grandchildren going through and trying to find high quality teachers. So my team has been working with Workforce Solutions, and we came up with a pathway to take an individual that is a paraprofessional, so that teaching assistant individual in the classroom, they probably make around $35,000 a year. But what that means is they're eligible for funding through Workforce Solutions in order to upskill. And so we're working with our ISD partners and looking at how do we upskill our paraprofessionals. So we will take them through our Associate of Arts in Teaching and then into a Bachelor's in Teaching program area. And so we will be looking at not only the funding all the way through the Bachelor's program, so when individuals graduate, it's free. They hopefully leave without any loans, without any debt. Also, we're looking at apprenticeships. So if there's funding available, there are times where we can also offset the salary of those individuals, which will be a huge savings to the ISD partners and the tax base. And so we will be able to move individuals all the way through the pathway from a paraprofessional to an Associate of Arts in Teaching to a bachelor's prepared individual. And then we're working with our universities for master level programming. If individuals have a master's degree and 18 hours in the field of study, that means my partner here for dual credit can hire that teacher, and a student can take English 1301 at a community college price instead of paying, I don't know, my son just graduated, so $2,500 for the same class at a university. And so the cost saving is huge. Then we have partnerships such as the P-TAX, where that is embedded into the curriculum, so that's free to the student as well. And so my heart is around students that are in poverty. how do we move them into a better living environment and change the life, not only for them, but for their families? And so that's one example for teaching. Once we have this model laid out, then we move that over to healthcare. So looking at our nurses, a CNA to an LVN to an ADN to an RN to a BSN to an MSN. Is this making sense to you guys? So we're moving individuals from around $15 an hour to making more than $80,000 a year. It's high demand, high wage programming in order to impact jobs and create a strong economic environment here. So that's an example, just so that you can see what we're doing. The same concept applies into machining to move individuals into the C-suite. And so we know construction is coming. You can do that. Those positions, as individuals advance and they have bachelor's, hopefully master's degrees, if we can get our population to be in that C-suite, those jobs start at $150,000 a year. So it's really about what can we do to serve the students to move them into those high demand, high wage jobs, and then stay on track with trends. We're looking heavily right now at robotics and automation. And so we're enhancing our labs right now in order to train students on the programming, how to use robots. I'm looking at some of the technology to mow our lawns and use our environment as a learning experience for students. And the same concept applies at our other facilities. But I just wanted to give you an example on how that looks from our lens.
And to just tag on to a point that you mentioned, we actually have our Weatherford Workforce Center located here on campus in this building. And so a lot of the individuals that we serve have some type of barrier to employment and or training. And so with the opportunities that the college offers, and then for individuals that are eligible for our different funding sources for training or support services, childcare, transportation, whatever that looks like, it's very important that we continue to partner so that we can close the loop and make sure that students have everything that they need to move into a career. And just a shout out about the Hollenstein. My son actually is taking his CTE courses there. He's doing audio and visual, but just in hearing about all of the different opportunities through CTE, I kind of questioned myself back when I was in school. We were just told, you go to a 4-year university, get a degree. And I wonder if I would have picked a different path if I would have had all of the different opportunities available to me at that time. So it's really impressive what students are able to do. And so, Kady, this next question is for you in reference to that. What specific programs and initiatives has the ISD implemented through CTE programming to ensure students gain those necessary skills and certifications to enter the workforce? And just share some of those examples here in Weatherford.
So in Weatherford ISD, we offer over 30 certifications, entry-level certifications for our students to leave the high school. I will tell you the biggest example of our most recent initiative is our PTech program that Shannon's talked about. This is a great program. We started it 2 years ago, and the reality is it came from a conversation with a local business owner. He came to us. He knew we had an automotive program, and he said, our auto technicians are aging out. I can't find qualified applicants. I can't find qualified people to come work in my service department. And you have a great facility, but it's kind of aged. We have a brand new facility now. But he did tell us that. He was like, yeah, make this more attractive. Let's get students. Let's get students prepared to leave your high school to go straight in the workforce. And so that's really where PTech kind of came from. PTech is a Pathways in Technology Early College High School. The beauty of it is students, whenever they graduate, it's a partnership with Weatherford College. So after we talked to our local business partner, we went to the Weatherford College and said, hey, they really want us to start a program where they can graduate with their ASC and an associate's degree. So what does that look like? And I said, but a PTech, it has to be free to all kids. Doesn't matter what background, doesn't matter anything. So Weatherford College said, let's make it work. We sat around a table with our school board members, with superintendent, with Weatherford College, with our local business partners, and said, let's make this work. Let's give an opportunity to our students. And now currently, and the 9th and 10th grade, over 50% of our students are enrolled in one of our P-TECH pathways. So it's an amazing opportunity. So that means that by their sophomore year, over 50% of our students have already taken a Weatherford College course of some type. So they are preparing to leave with a level 1 credential, as well as to developing those skills. We have to work closely with Weatherford College to ensure that our curriculum's aligned, to ensure our certifications are aligned to each course that we are offering, to the skills that they need whenever they leave. And so those programs we're currently offering are automotive, welding, cosmetology, cybersecurity, education, and healthcare. And so the beautiful part about education is we're creating our own pipeline, like she spoke about. So our students can graduate with their associate's degree at 18 and then work for us as paraprofessionals and come back and teach at 20 with a bachelor's degree from Weatherford College. So we are doing that with other programs as well. So we're always trying to listen to community needs. We added welding to that P-TECH pathway because we heard from so many people, we need certified welders, but we also need, sometimes the certifications that we're offering in high school aren't aligned to the skills they need, to be honest. And so we are listening to our local community members who are like, what skills do they need? Is this certification valued? Is it not? We want to make sure locally that we're preparing our students to leave. And so that's the message that we hear whenever we have our advisory team meetings. That's also all of our practicum teachers go out weekly to talk to our interns and talk to their local employers to see, what are the lack of skills that our students are leaving with? How can we improve? And so just to make sure we're putting out an employee that's valued, that's ready to go to work, and that's ready to make, your small businesses better whenever they leave us.
Thank you. Sorry. No, that's okay. So I'm going to change this up a little bit. This question will be for everyone on the panel. What are your thoughts about the importance of having these partnerships in terms of solving workforce challenges? How are the partnerships critical to addressing all facets of workforce challenges? Obviously, there are many. And so just want to throw that out and get your insights. Cindy, I'll start with you.
For us, it's been really great. It's extremely helpful. We partner with several high schools. We don't partner as much with Weatherford High School only because of distance. Only because of distance. I still come there for the career fairs. Some kids, I do have a kid on my desk right now from Weatherford looking for a welding job, and we will definitely be reaching out to him. But it has been critical to expand our recruiting to all kinds of things that all different resources. You cannot rely on the internet. You cannot rely on Indeed. Getting out and having partnerships with your chamber, with your high schools, with your colleges, that has helped us so much because we get 1 or 2 people from every place and put it all together, and before you know it, you've got 14 people that have come from all these resources that their mindset is to do what it is you need them to do. It's the job that they want. They're happy in it. They're excited to learn. And we've all trained people. It's fun to train someone when they want to know. Not fun to train someone when they don't want to know. So it's been critical for our success because we are constantly growing. Our company started in 2009 with 3 people. We have 147 now, and we have been on a 4-year plan to double, and we're in our 3rd year of that. So all of these resources are really critical for our success. And I cannot say enough about Weatherford College and how helpful they've been. It has made a huge difference.
So employee deficits, things in that capacity, realistically, we are trying to prepare students to leave high school ready to go. Right now, today and tomorrow, we have 300 seniors sitting in mock interviews, preparing to go out to sit for an internship or an interview before they come to an internship. We have our career fair that we bring in local employers. We do that every spring to try to get our students job skills during the summer for our local employees, or employers. So if you have the need for summer work, reach out to us at the high school level because we always try to get students jobs during the summer as kind of an entry-level position with our local industry. And so hopefully they can step up to the next level, working with employees to create a great environment we want to make sure that your future employees are ready to go, that they have resumes, that they're going to come and, shake your hand, give them speaking skills, eye contact. It's so hard sometimes for these kiddos, but in reality, they are ready to go, and we are trying to prepare them to be ready to work for you. Yes, go ahead.
Well, go ahead, say your thing. I just have to.
I forgot now. Go ahead. No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I understand the CTE. I understand that as far as the college. I mean, the state actually teams schools if they don't have the seniors that graduate with a CTE certification or some level of college.
Yes.
Their actually funding will be affected by that. So I understand the initiative for y'all to get everything, especially with the workforce. But is there something precursor that you're looking at? Because I mean, you need some of these kids motivated to find the career opportunities they want to. If there's something the counselor they're doing as a mentor class that these kids have to go through prior to, you say, okay, here's a career forward we have available.
Yes.
Or so I know there's a counselor there, but are they forced to go through and say, this is what we have available, here's your career find?
So yes, 100% all of that. Weatherford ISD, we're part of what is called the Effective Advising Framework, and it's a pilot program that actually starts as early as elementary. Our counselors go in and they do career exploration in elementary. We do bring in Weatherford College to do some advisement with our counselors to ensure that they know that they can speak to what core complete means. They can speak to what dual credit offerings are. So we have that opportunity as well. In the 8th grade, all of our students take an interest, inventory, and aptitude assessment prior to choosing their endorsement or their career pathway in high school. So they do that in 8th grade. The beautiful part is they're still in high school. So we do allow them to change their endorsements because sometimes they get in and they think, hey, I want to be a vet. I love animals. I want to be in this ag class. And they realize, oh, you mean I have to put animals down? You mean I have to see blood? Some of those different things. And so that is our goal in high school, is to prepare them prior to leaving, that they know what they want to do, that they get excited about the training that we can offer them. But we do know sometimes they change their minds. And so we do those assessments as well throughout the time they're in high school to ensure that not only what they're interested in, but also what they're good at. And so we want to make sure that we're aligning them to be successful whenever they leave us. And so counselors do meet every year with students prior to course selection, making sure they're on track to graduate, talking to them about their opportunities to be college and career ready. And so our goal in Weatherford is that every student leaves us college or career ready, because we know, they're going to come to you, some of them straight out of high school, and some of them will go on to Weatherford College, to a university. We're always here to support them in whatever avenue, but we want to make sure they're successful citizens when they leave us, and that they are employable and that they are ready to go to work. Yes.
So while these rural schools don't have the funding and the availability with some of the CTs, have y'all thought about partnering with some of these smaller schools, like 1A schools or 2A schools, to bring some of these resources available that are surrounding you?
I'm glad you asked that, because we do. Grizzard Regional Institute of Technology, that's what the regional part stands for. We actually serve students from Lipan, Mineral Wells, Peaster. Aledo comes to us for some of our CT offerings that they can't support. Mineral Wells, as far as Mineral Wells, they've come to us from Mineral Wells as well. So we serve about 9 other school districts through some of our career and technical education programs every year.
Okay. Thank you. And then I just finished up a Department of Ag grant to serve our rural community to get access for teachers to professional development, new technology and equipment to enhance what we're doing in order to support our rural partners. We serve about 40 ISDs across 5 counties. And so our service area is 4,000 square miles. And so everything we do, we think about our rural partners. And there is a hand over here. Yes, sir.
There's a training in school, you got their areas good that they talk. Let's stand off over the volatiles. But we're all that growth, that's still in that we're watching it, mindset. So Tari got some experience, they taught all their tax liability. We do all this, because once they come and go after what I remember, I barely have taught anything about that. I got I get taught that a lot as court. So the already got to there, and then they want back to.
So are you still doing that in the high schools? I know,
So my boys, they recently graduated, but they did Dave Ramsey to learn about, how to be debt free, how to manage money. If they're coming through the business school, that's part of our curriculum. We do, through financial aid, financial workshops for students in order to understand funding. I'll have to find out about taxes specifically to see how we're doing that, but I can make that recommendation. I don't know if you're doing that as well.
Yeah, we do utilize the Dave Ramsey curriculum as well. In Weatherford ISD, I can't speak to other school districts, but we also in our practicum program, we do work on business plans. We do work on some of those different pieces their senior year to help better prepare them after they've had 4 years of learning in that area. So they talk about taxes. We also offer financial mathematics, which is specifically a course, a career and technical education math course that's around, spending, uses, taxes, all those different things, budgeting, profit loss statements, any of those things to try to prepare students later on.
Yeah.
So you talked about real art. You see that. Here. I feel like that you are the these skill grades for certifying that you can slot.
Absolutely. And so our veteran services, and we have a way, again, going back to that concept of a prior learning assessment, the curriculum for our armed forces is excellent. And so there's a mechanism where they will bring their transcripts to us and we evaluate where they are and where it meets the credential requirements in order to award credit. So we look at that for our veterans as well.
So they have to go through a certification or to put program still to you.
It depends on the training that they've had. And so we have to sit down and do a crosswalk to look at what degrees they have, what is awarded in order to meet our credentialing requirements for our accrediting bodies. So yeah, again, it just depends on the individual because they're coming to us from very different places. And as a community college, we've talked a lot today about career and tech programs, but we also have our general education transfer to universities. And so you've got two different pathways for students. That also means we've got two different ways to credential faculty because it depends on what that end goal is. The other thing I want to leave, because I know we're running short on time, I want to leave you all with the concept that at the community college, you actually you advise us, you control our curriculum. We are not a university. We do research and our students learn about research, particularly those that are going to transfer. But on the industry side, we look to you to tell us what is trending, what is the new technology, what do we need to use our Carl D. Perkins funds to procure so that we are enhancing our classrooms. Our classrooms need to look like the working environment. And so it is an ongoing conversation with advisory committees. I can't encourage you enough to look at the apprenticeships that we've talked about. I know in my work with the Methodist hospital system, when they were growing their own employees, they retained nurses at a rate of 80 to 85% over a 20-year time period. So growing your own employees, it works. You invest in them, they will stay with you. So looking at the tuition reimbursement models, how can you be competitive? How can you retrain and retool individuals? So when you give back to your employees, they will stay with you in creating that environment. But I wanted to share with you, your voice is so critical for community colleges and what we need to do to give you the workforce of the future. And so with that, I think we're at time. Do we have other questions? Oh, okay. Any other questions?
Can I speak on the ISD side real fast? Sure. On the ISD side for career and technical education, most school districts, not all, it depends on the school district, are a district of innovation. So that allows a veteran to show us what their work experience has been. So if they've been, for instance, I think I have 3 or 4 veterans who work for us in Weatherford ISD. And so whatever their experience was or their job was while they were in the military, we look at that. They do have to go through an education certification program, but they can do that while they work for us. So they apply for the job. They don't already have to have that certification. And that first year, they'll go through an alternative certification program. And so they can do that while they're working for us. And most of that is all online. So that has that opportunity for anybody with their work experience to come work for us in Weatherford ISD.
And employers get.
Any other questions from the audience? Yes, sir.
Good morning, First Ladies. Thank you for taking time to do the panel. And I do want to give a shout out on that topic. My daughter is also a veteran, and she did 11 years in the Navy. She got 40 credit hours. You're in a program in college right now, and she is en route to be a teacher. So that is now more passion. So what you are saying is happening right now for the veterans, which is really exciting. So the topic was career training and retaining. I know it's been education focused. Cindy, this might be best for you. When we talk about retaining and for small businesses to challenge with retaining employees, are you seeing that the small businesses and or yours specifically has better luck retaining employees, not only on the education side, but also the more benefits that you're able to provide to your employees? I don't know if that's something you can speak to. But we'll talk about retaining the employees. Is that a more tangible factor today when we talk about other people's money and we talk about investing in our employees?
We do a lot of things to help retain our employees. We've been very fortunate that the turnover that we've had has been not that necessarily bad turnover. It's kind of like, okay, bye. But we do a lot of things for the employees just in general. We have, in the summertime, our shop is hot. It's not climate controlled. We have snow cone trucks coming to see everybody. We have food trucks coming on Friday. We do a lot of fun things like that. We do different contests within our facility of like a safety slogan contest, and it's cash prizes. And we do, the training, providing the training has probably been the biggest impact for our retaining, because we are growing our own and those individuals do stay with us. Our benefits are good. We pay 90% of the cost for medical insurance for our employees. And then their dental, vision, accidental death and dismemberment, and short-term disability, all of that is free. So we do really well on the benefits package. We also do bonuses every March. And that just depends on how long they've been there and how well the company did. But they're good bonuses. It's not a $50 gift card. It's enough to make them go, oh, I can't wait for next March. And we're also very good, and I'm proud of this about our company, doing reviews. Yearly reviews, sometimes 6-month reviews. But letting our employees know where they stand and what they need to do to get where they want to go to make the money they want. That really helps a lot. And I spent 25 years in the staffing industry, and I've worked with a lot of different companies, and some are pretty bad about doing yearly reviews every single year. That truly does help. But between all the fluff stuff that we do that they love, the gift card at Thanksgiving for honey baked hams to get a ham for the holidays, all those small things mean a lot. And, we're lucky in the sense that our leadership, the two founders of the company, they're the type that when it is gift card time, they are walking around individually handing them out, thanking every single person for everything they've done. Same for bonuses. They're active participants in the day-to-day, and that makes our employees feel heard and know that they have an open door to go talk to them if they have any questions, but really being as employee-friendly as you can.
Can I answer that too? Sure. So prior to my 25 career in higher education, I was a human resources director and specialized in IPOs for manufacturing engineering environments. I think to address your question as well, it's really going back to right fit hiring and making sure that the behaviors are in the right place, and what are those skills in addition to creating that team where everyone can work together. And so hiring from the beginning, I have found, is the most critical place to begin. I will scrap a search in a heartbeat if I cannot find someone that's going to fit in. I can teach anyone anything. I can't teach you how to have a heart and how to work with students and how to care about what you're doing every day. If you don't have that basic skill set, there's just, you're not starting off on the right place. So in addition to the benefits, an amazing environment, just looking at your practices, and then why are people leaving, doing the exit interviews, and really learn from maybe, I'm looking at individuals when
If you've gone through 10 administrative assistants, it's not my administrative assistants, it's that individual. And so I'm having those critical conversations to say, what are we doing? What kind of environment are we creating? And for a college, that's critical because it all trickles down and it impacts our students. And so that, I just wanted to share that with you. And I only have about 2% turnover. So it does work, and that's been over I won't say how many years of working. Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to add from the workforce standpoint, obviously we don't advise on HR type things. We are really looking at just helping employers to identify talent, train talent, but to their point about the culture piece, particularly with small businesses, revenue is going to look different. It's going to fluctuate depending on what you're doing. And so I think having that focus on creating an inclusive and almost family-like culture is what helps in retaining employees just as much as a wonderful benefits package or the training and opportunities that they're afforded. I think that when people feel like they are genuinely a part of something and contributing, they are more likely to be loyal. And so I think that really is another side of the retention piece where maybe, the wage increase or bonuses may not be feasible at that time. Just creating that culture helps individuals to want to stay with you as well. So, other questions? Okay, well, let's give our panelists a round of applause for their insight. Appreciate it.